My name is Leila Farah. I am an associate professor at Toronto Metropolitan University's Department of Architectural Science. And I was, here. I first came to Montreal in 2004 through the Jeanne Sauvé Scholarship. And Professor Bat was my mentor then. So I had the opportunity to meet him, and he invited me to participate in the minimum cost housing group activities. So we visited some community gardens here in Montreal, and I also contributed to the work the MArch students were undertaking on the project he led called Making the Edible Landscape. I had a professional degree from France, and I was very interested in continuing to learn more about sustainability. And I was really I thought it was very innovative to think of urban agriculture and different ways of contributing to it through design. So I guess that was really a moment of inspiration to think of these various landscapes, how they interrelate with interior, exterior spaces, in public spaces, and how we can think about more holistic ways of developing projects. My thesis, Professor Bat was my supervisor. My thesis, I worked on food trajectories, architecture, and landscapes. And through it, or in a way methodologically to address these, because they are, we're working often with, perishable materials. So I looked at processes at different scales of spaces, from land use to domestic spaces. I also looked at socio-cultural aspects, as well as time, how time also, affects the way how time affects those spaces and how we use these spaces. Each picture is really brings a fond memory, and I wonder how the public sees them, because there's so many layers. So, for example, this image here is a really interesting one in a way, because we see a layout. So we wonder, what is this layout about? And what is essential to also think about when we see this layout is that it's created by the community. So it's through community participation that this, in a way, organization of space is created. And what's also, fascinating to think about when we look at the picture is that it's not the static, organization of space. The people were together. They were, helping each other through a chain to bring those containers up, to have the soil, to mix it with compost, to seed, and to harvest it. So there are all these movements of people who are interacting, and we see, at a very at a later stage, the top image that has it, at a more mature. But that's also really important, that it's always through the volunteers, the partnership with alternatives, Centre Paul Roulant, and the minimum cost that this is happening, and very importantly, the work of the volunteers. Also, what's really important is that it's not just the greening of the space, or it's very much contributing to a Meals on Wheels program, to people then who were related to that Meals on Wheels program and had some of the food processed at alternatives, at Centre Paul Roulant, and were delivered the food that some of the produce harvested here contributed to those meals.